Welcome to this tricks tutorial for Riders Republic. To smash the tricks, we need to put it in trickster mode. We can do this by opening up the menus. First trick we need to know is how to jump. 101 basic start. Flick the right analog stick up or down to jump. We perform the front flip by pressing down on the right analog stick, up on the right analog stick. Let's perform the front flip. Do this in the opposite direction. Start, we're going to spin, right analog stick left before we leave the edge of the ramp, and then push it in the opposite direction. Hold it to rotate. One rotation is a 360. For 540, 720, hold the rotation. Moving on to the advanced rotations, up next is the rodeo. Down on the right analog stick, followed by a directional on the right analog stick, is going to perform the rodeo. For rodeo and corks, we're going to need a minimum of 720 to land it. For a perfect landing, we need a 1080 rotation. For cork, we're going to press up on the right analog stick, followed by a directional. The next rotation up is the cash roll. We're going to move the right analog stick from the left to downwards motion. Cash roll and twisters can only be landed every 1.5 rotations, so completely different axis landing to the rodeo and cork. Twister right on the right analog stick to an upwards motion. A quick reminder, we are in trickster mode. The controls for all the bike tricks. Depending on what bike you have, you'll perform a different trick. As you can see here by the yellow boxes, you can see that a tail whip and a table is the same controls, but will be dependent if you're on a slopestyle or FreeRide bike. Kicking off the slopestyle bike tricks with the Tobogan right. You'll notice here we're using the right trigger when airborne and moving the left analog stick. Different directions give you different results. These are the tricks to the right. To perform the tricks to the left, we're going to use the left trigger and the left analog stick. We're going to move it in different directions. Again, it's the same trick, but moving towards the left motion instead of the right. Stay tuned for the main event of slopestyle bike tricks. It's the tail whip. So right trigger, left trigger for these series of tricks. We're going to move the left analog stick to the right. This is how we perform the tail whip. We can hold it to do multiple rotations. Indian air. Again, left trigger, right trigger, downwards on the left analog stick. Tail whip left, you guessed it, we're moving the left analog stick left. And the suicide no-hander is up on the left analog stick, right trigger, left trigger. Switching to the FreeRide and downhill bike, it's the same trick controls, but we're going to get a different set of outputs, including the Superman. We started with a can-can right, now we're going to whip right. We'll be using the right trigger and changing the left directional of the analog stick. That was the Nac-Nac right. Finish off the right trigger tricks with the X up right. I will be performing the left trigger, FreeRide bike tricks. Starting with the Nac-Nac left, followed by the whip left. Next up is the can-can left. Finishing it off is the X up left. Now for the main event of FreeRide bike tricks. We're going to be doing the right trigger, left trigger with the left analog stick. That's how you table right. Superman is downwards on the left analog stick and left trigger, right trigger. Table left is L2, R2, left on the left analog stick. Touch no-hander, right trigger, left trigger, and upwards on the left analog stick. This is where we get really crazy. We can combine our spins that we learned earlier with all these tricks. This means we can 720 Superman, Indian air front flip, any combination you think of we can chuck together. Possibilities are endless. This is also going to land you more points in tricks competitions. Some real gem of tricks such as the 360 bar spin, the 1080 bar spin. To do these you're going to need to hit the rotation first and hit the trick while airborne. To hit the 720 Superman we need to hit the right analog stick left then right. Do this before we leave the edge of the ramp. As soon as we're airborne, right trigger, left trigger, down on the left analog stick. This will perform the 720 Super. Possibilities of combining these tricks are endless. This is where you can get super creative. Reminder, you can perform rotations on any bike, including Fakies. Different grab and spin tricks will depend if you're on a slopestyle or freestyle bike. Controls are the same, the outputs will be different. Don't forget you're not limited to a single rotation. We can do doubles, triples, etc. in our quest for high scores. If you want to get super techy in Riders Republic, we can fakie, we can trick out of these positions and we're doing switch tricks. Go into fakie mode, we need to perform a 180-degree spin. This will start the backwards motion. Now getting super techy is the barrel roll. To do this, we need to spin 90 degrees. We then need to perform a front or back flip in order to do a barrel roll. If you found this tricks tutorial video useful for Riders Republic, we cover everything tricks-wise in this game. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, absolutely free. Join the community, and I'll catch you in the next tutorial.